out of jail. In jail and out of jail. I've been done pretty well everything, too, except hanged. Stamping, thieving, preaching, bit of a poacher, bit of a hawker, a bit of most things that don't pay and lead to trouble. At the Epsom races, 20 years ago, I got acquainted with a man who's in a crack with that poker there in me hob. Now, that fellow's name was Compeyson. And he was the man that you once saw me pounding in the ditch.
I remember.
Well, he set up for a gentleman. I'd been to a public boarding school and had learning. He took me on as his man and his partner. And his business was swindling, handwriting forging, stolen banknote passing and such like. Now, there was another one in with him who was named Arthur. But Arthur was dying with the orders on him. Now, he and Compeyson had been in a bad thing with a rich lady some years before, and they made a pot of money out of it. Well, Arthur died, and he died horrible. And me and Compeyson, well, I won't tell you the things that he planned and I done. But that was the way it was. We was caught. My missus, the one as I had a bad time with. Oh, but stop now. I won't bring her in. When I was in the dock, I noticed what a gentleman Compeyson looked and what a common sort of wretch I looked. And all the evidence was sort of heavy on me and light on him. And word of Compeyson has been to the school, and word of me has been up hill and down dales and bridewells and lockups. And when we got tried, aimed at him has got 7 years, and me 14. And ain't it him as the judge is sorry for, and ain't it me as the judge perceives to be an old offender of violent passion, likely to come to worse.
Is he dead?
He hopes I am. If he's alive, you can be sure on that. After I smashed his face in the marshes, I never heard no more of him.
Oh. Are you cutting me?
Oh, it's you, is it? How do you do?
You just come down?
Yes.
Beastly place, your part of the country, I think.
Yes? I'm told it's rather like your Shropshire.
Not in the least like it.
Do you stay here long?
I can't say. Do you?
Can't say. Are you amused, Mr. Drummle?
Not particularly. I'm going out riding this morning. Waiter!
Yes, sir.
Is that horse of mine ready?
Brought round to the door, sir.
The lady won't ride today, the weather won't do.
No, sir.
And I won't be dining here, I'll be dining at the lady.
Very good, sir.
Mr. Drummle, if
Don't
you're...
lose your temper. Haven't you lost enough without that? Waiter, You do understand the lady won't ride today and that I shall be dining at the lady's?
Yes, sir.
Miss Havisham, what I have to say to Estella, I will say before you. It will not surprise you, it will not displease you. I'm as unhappy as you can ever have meant me to be. I've found out who my patron is. It's not a fortunate discovery, and he's not likely ever to enrich me in reputation, well, anything. I now know I came here as any chance boy might have come, as a kind of servant to gratify a want or a woman to be paid for it.
Aye, Pip, you
And that
did.
Mr. Jaggers...
Mr. Jaggers had nothing to do with it, knew nothing about it. The fact of his being my lawyer and the lawyer of your patron is a coincidence. He holds the same relations to numbers of people. It could easily arise.
Yes, but when I fell into the mistake I've so long remained in, at least you led me on.
Aye, Pip, I let you go on.
Was that kind?
Who am I? Who am I, for God's sake, that I should be kind?
Yes, I beg your pardon, Miss Havisham. I forgot that kindness is one of the several things to which I have no right. Estella, you know I love you. I've loved you ever since I first saw you in this house. Well, I should have said this sooner, but for my long mistake, it made me hope that Miss Havisham meant us for one another. I'm ignorant what will become of me very soon, how poor I may be, where I may go. Still, I had to say this.
It seems there are sentiments, fancies, I don't know how to call them, which I'm not able to comprehend. When you say you love me, you address nothing in my breast. You touch nothing here. I've tried to warn you of this, have I not?
Yes.
Yes, but you would not be warned, for you thought I didn't mean it.
Estella, is it not true that Bentley Drummel is in town and pursuing you?
It is quite true.
That you encourage him and ride out with him and that he dines with you this very day?
Quite true.
You would never marry him, Estella.
Why not tell you the truth? I am going to be married to him.
Oh, Estella, to fling yourself away on such a brute!
On whom should I fling myself away? It is done. I shall do well enough, and so shall my husband.
Stupid brute!
Don't be afraid of my being a blessing to him. I shall not be that. Come, here is my hand. It shall pass in no time.
Never, Estella. Out of my thoughts, you are part of my existence, part of myself. Oh, Estella, to the last hour of my life, you cannot choose but be part of my character, part of the little good in me, part of the evil. Oh, Estella, dearest, dearest Estella, please do not let Miss Havisham lead you into this fatal step. I mean, put me aside forever. Well, you have done so, I well know, but bestow yourself on someone other than Drummel.
I'm going to be married to him. Why do you introduce the name of my mother by adoption? It is my own act. Be quiet now, it is done.
Mr. Pip, sir?
Who's that?
Sir, the porter, sir. Is that Mr. Pip?
Yes.
I've a note for you, sir. The messenger that brought it said, would you be so kind as to read it by the lantern?
Mr. Wenham.
I left the same note for you at each of the temple gates on the chance. I'm glad one of them found you.
Yes, but why...
And now, Mr. Pip, I'm going to take a liberty with you. Would you mind toasting this sausage for the aged parent?
Oh, I should be delighted.
All right. Are you, aged parent?
All right, John, all right.
As to why I left that note. You've heard of a man of bad character whose true name is Compison?
I have. Is he living? In London?
He is. I heard as much whilst on Mr. Jagger's business at Newgate early this morning. I also heard that you, at your chambers in Garden Court, had been watched. and might be watched again.
By Compeyson?
Oh, as to that, I have no knowledge. As to what I did after hearing what I heard, you being in the country, I went to Claricos to find Mr. Herbert.
And you found him?
Yes.
Well, what
yes,
is it?
I found him.
Yes.
I gave him to understand that if he knew of anybody, Tom, Jack, or Richard, being about the chamber, he had better get Tom, Jack, or Richard out of the way.
Must have been greatly puzzled what to do.
Oh, yes, he was puzzled what to do. But after being all of a heap for half an hour, Mr. Herbert struck out a plan. He told me as a secret that he was courting a young lady who has, as you are no doubt aware, a bedridden pa. You're acquainted with the young lady, most probably?
Not personally, no.
Well, the house, which is down by the pool between Greenwich and Limehouse, has a furnished upper floor to let. Now, Mr. Herbert put it to me, what did I think of that as a temporary tenement for Tom, Jack, or Richard? I thought very highly of it for 3 reasons.
Oh.
Firstly, it's well away from the usual heap of streets. Secondly, without going near it yourself, you could always hear of the safety of Tom, Jack, or Richard through Mr. Herbert. Thirdly, if you should ever want to slip Tom, Jack, or Richard on board a foreign packet boat, there he is, ready.
Of course.
Well, Mr. Herbert threw himself into the business with a will. And by this evening, he had housed Tom, Jack, or Richard quite successfully. Here's the address.
Thank you.
It's a house on the river, as I say, with a bow window.
Oh, Handel, my dear fellow, you found us, I see. My dearest Clara, allow me to present my friend Handel, of whom you've heard him speak interminably.
Your servant, Miss...
Barley.
Damn your eye.
Barley.
Boy!
Is that,
No, our friend's on the top floor. That is Clara's father.
On the flat of my
Papa's calling me, darling. Would you excuse me, Mr. Pip? I'm coming, Papa.
He's a sad old rascal, although I've never seen him. But do you smell the rum? Oh, he's always at it.
rum?
Yes, and you may suppose how mild it makes his gout.
How much does your Clara know about our man upstairs?
Oh, only that he's a lodger, and a godsend at that, and nobody else will stand the noise. Well, he grows impatient to see you.
Yes, I'd better go to him.
Handel, one moment. I think you ought to be told.
Told?
Yes, that is, to leave the country. I mean, either that or be taken away or hanged. I don't think he'll oppose the idea too much once he learns you're to go with him.
Yes, I'll tell him now.
And then arrangements will have to be made.
Oh, Wemmick is keeping himself informed of the packet boat sailings. When the time comes, we can row Magwitch up the river ourselves, but it may not be for some weeks yet. Shall we?
Oh, Bill Barley, down here.
How long, Molly? How slow you are today. Wemmick, did you send that note of Miss Havisham's to Mr. Pip?
No, sir. It was going by post. And then you mentioned Mr. Pip was dining here.
Miss Havisham tells me she wants to see you. You'll go down?
Yes.
When?
Oh, I don't know. Probably tomorrow.
So, our friend the Spider has played his cards.
The Spider?
Mr. Bentley Drummle. He has played his cards and he has won the pool.
So it would seem.
But he may not have it all his own way with her. The stronger will win in the end, but the stronger has to be found out first. It is a toss-up between two results.
May I ask what they are?
Oh, with a fellow like our friend the Spider, he either beats or cringes. So here's to Mrs. Bentley Drummle, and may the question of supremacy be settled to the lady's satisfaction. No, wait. For such a toast, a rarer wine. I shan't keep you or your thirst for long.
That woman, Mr. Wemmick, you once called her a wild beast tamed.
And what do you call her?
The same. How did Mr. Jaggers tame a Wemmick?
Oh, that's his secret. She's been with him many a long year, ever since she was tried for murder at the Old Bailey.
Murder?
Mr. Jaggers was for her and she was acquitted. It was a case of jealousy. She was married to a tramping man, and the murdered person was another woman. There'd been a struggle, and the other woman had been held by the throat and choked. It was said at the time that not only did she murder the woman, but she murdered her own child to be revenged on the man. But there was never any proof of that. The child nor its body was not to be found. As I say, she was acquitted.
What age was the child then?
3.
Do you remember the sex?
Said to have been a girl.
Well then, drink up. I give you Mrs. Bentley Drummle.
Mr. Jaggers gave me your note yesterday, and I lost no time.
Pip, what have I done? What have I done?
Estella, is she married?
What have I done?
Miss Havisham, is Estella married?
Yes, what have I done?
If you mean what have you done to injure me, let me answer. Very little. I should have loved her under any circumstances. Miss Havisham, whose child is Estella? You don't know, but Mr. Jaggers brought her here or sent her here.
Brought her here. I told him I wanted a little girl to rear and love and save from my fate. He told me he would look for such an orphan child. One night he brought her here asleep. I called her Estella.
Might I ask her age then?
2 or 3.
Thank you, Miss Havisham.
No, Pip, don't go. Stay. Stay. Stay with me. Stay. Stay. Stay.
I sat with Provis, or Magwitch, as you call him, last night, Handel, for 2 good hours.
Did you, Herbert?
Yes, he was very communicative. He told me more of his life.
Yes.
You remember he broke off telling us about some woman who he'd had great trouble with?
Woman?
Well, he went into that part of his life, and a dark, wild part it is, too.
Tell me what he said.
Well, it seems that the woman... was a young woman, jealous, revengeful. Revengeful, Handel, to the last degree.
To what last degree?
Murder.
Whom did she murder?
Well, let me just say that she was tried for murder and that Mr. Jaggers defended her.
Mr. Jaggers?
Yes. Yes, it was another woman who was the victim.
Jaggers?
There'd been a struggle. How it began is very doubtful, but how it ended is certainly not doubtful, for the victim was found throttled.
Was the woman brought in guilty?
No, she was acquitted.
What else?
Well, the acquitted woman and Provis, or Magwitch as you call him, had a little child. And on the night when the object of her jealousy had been strangled, she swore to Provis that he'd never see the child again, that she would destroy it.
Did she keep her oath?
Well, that's the darkest part of Provis's life. She did.
That is, he said she did.
Well, why, yes, of course.
Yes, of course she did. Of course.
Well, after the acquittal, the woman disappeared, and thus he lost the child and the child's mother.
Herbert, did he tell you when this happened?
Well, his expression was, a round score of a year ago, directly I took up with Compeyson.
20 years ago?
Yes, he said that when he saw you in the churchyard, you brought into his mind the little girl who would have been about your age.
Herbert, listen, I'm not in any fever, and my heart is not disorganized by what happened to Miss Havisham. I'm quite myself. But the man we have in hiding down the river is Estella's father.